Hello and welcome to coverage of the final match for the Custom Magic Servers game night Lorado Draft Tournament. That's a mouthful. So right now it seems that we have MasterKulon, who's playing a green-red aggressive, like green-red aggro, essentially, um, against AKVA, who's playing, it looks like, black-green self-mill. Oh, and unfortunately, it looks like they milled a wild-shaped mastery off of this home on the range. Okay, I can't grab non-creature, non-land permanents. Kulon already had gotten 3 damage turn 2 by transforming this wild shaper into a horse with its own ability, and swung in for 1 next turn. Festering Black Lung coming down right here from AKVA, milling another 3. Devouring Wendigo, that's a really strong hand attack on a creature. And Selfless Engineer milling another rare. Does have a blocker now that can essentially chump the field hand, but as long as Kulon doesn't play something that costs 3 or more mana, can just attack in with the Wild Shaper, and if AKVA blocks, can essentially transform it. Oh, but it's going to tap out for 4. Nothing to lose on the Centaur field hand. And so plus 4/0 plus Menace is going to be a beating. AKVA is going to go down to 10 right here. And yeah, like, this is not looking super great, because I think once you start getting into single digit range, Kulon does have the Desperada that we saw earlier that can be used for reach. I guess AKVA does have this Wendigo as life gain. If they have similar cards, could maybe make this back up. I guess Home on the Range also gains you life. Yeah, they're going to need like a good density of those, and quickly. Okay, so tapping 3 for a Snapping Hydra, X equals 1. Yikes. And they're having it fight the Centaur field hand? And gonna coat with Venom. Okay. So essentially gonna trade the Hydra and this coat for Venom with the field hand and nothing to lose. So gonna go card even there and help themselves out. But AKVA does have a good density of rares, but man, milling out 2 of them and having to use one of them as a glorified removal spell doesn't feel great. I guess AKVA can... It gets to swing in for 2 with the Black Lung, but I kind of feel like this is a mistake. I guess you won't be able to block the Thunderhoof Wild Shaper anyways, is AKVA's logic. But yeah, still on a 4-turn clock, and that immediately becomes a 3-turn clock if Kulon plays anything else. And yeah, these Wild Shapers are just great mana sinks, because I believe it's a cycle all at 1 mana, and the blue one gets flying. I think the green, black, and white ones, if I remember, are not as impressive, but the blue and the red ones seem to be really good for aggro. So you're going to swing in with this Thunderhoof Wild Shaper, not polymorphing it so that he can play Minotaur Chieftain. Ugh, and the trample is kind of disgusting too. It means that AKVA can't just have a chump blocker. And this Black Lung, again, is still not big enough to kill either the Wild Shaper or the Chieftain. AKVA is so on the back foot right now, it isn't even funny. They really need like some sort of like good creature, like good board presence that also gains them life. Like if they have another Hungering Wendigo, they instead have a Centaur Desperado, can buff up the Black Lung. And I guess that means they're missing a land, because otherwise they would definitely have waited to play this at flash speed with Reflex. But yeah, just buffing up the Black Lung doesn't do much otherwise. The good part about Desperado, though, is that it now AKVA can trade with the Wild Shaper and can also double block and kill Chieftain if they want to. Looks like Kulon's just gonna still gonna just go for it. Gonna give Trample to the Wild Shaper and swing in with both. So it looks like AKVA is gonna double block the Chieftain. So Chieftain will trade off. Probably you kill the Desperado. Oh, has a combat trick? No, it's just gonna buff up the Wild Shaper, which I guess is a trick, but not one that'll save the Chieftain. Oh, but tapping even more mana. Is this a Moxonite Slugs? No, 2 Smoking Barrels is gonna give the Chieftain double strike So I think this just means that the chieftain survives. And yeah, AKVA's just going to concede there because I believe they died to trample damage. Yeah, not ideal. But yeah, AKVA's deck looks really strong, but it looks like it needs time to get set up. And also, AKVA just had really bad luck with milling out two of their rares right there. But we did see that they do have some life gain mains, so hopefully game 2 they'll be able to leverage that more. And being on the play, hopefully they'll be able to use that extra turns breathing room to kind of stymie Kulon's aggressive efforts. Anyways, we're getting into game 2 here. AKVA does not have a turn 1 play, which, given their deck, makes sense. It looks like they're the type of deck which kind of just focuses on curving out in mid-range style. Kulon, though, of course, does have the turn 1 play. Greenskin Geologist. Doesn't matter that it's just a 1/1. Putting a body down early and getting some sort of card selection is really good for Kulon's deck, because it does have some bombs like we saw earlier, like those Desperadas. And AKVA not playing a turn 2 play either. Could just be that they have lots of impactful high-cost cards, and that's why it kept this hand. Or we did see a good density of reflex cards game 1, so they could have something at flash speed. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And Kulon's just going to curve out into a 2-drop Rain Dancer. Just a good mana dork, honestly. Turn 3 is going to run out the Selfless Engineer. This blocks the Greenskin Geologist, but then if you're Kulon, you're okay with running Rain Dancer in. Because that single point of damage means that you are now the clock. So you don't care if AKVA starts swinging back in with this Selfless Engineer. And the Centaur Field Hand turn 3, and this is like a perfect curve for Kulon. Obviously, the Field Hand isn't like quite where you want to be in an aggressive deck, and also isn't swinging in with the Rain Dancer. Maybe has the Minotaur that we saw last time, but doesn't have a 4th land yet, so is waiting for a 4th land so that he can play the Minotaur. AKVA, meanwhile, is just gonna play another land and pass. At this point, I'd have to imagine that the reason that they're passing is because they have a reflex card. Because, like, if you don't have any play that costs 4 mana at this point, like, dog, why are you keeping this hand? So he's just going to swing in with the Centaur Field Hand. Has 5 mana up, so maybe has the reflex combat trick in his weight. No, probably just going to main 2 play the Minotaur. I'd imagine that's the case. And yep, here it comes. What did I tell you? The Minotaur Chieftain. I'm kind of feeling myself for calling that. But anyways, like and AKVA didn't have a flash speed play right there. I don't like the Chieftain be giving trample doesn't really matter, but being a 5/4 like emphatically does. And if AKVA doesn't have something like right now, I think they kind of just lose on the spot. Like, look at, like, Kulon's got the wider board, and they're passing again. Like, please have a Centaur Desperado, AKVA. Please tell me that your entire hand is not just lands and really expensive cards. Okay, tapping 4. Is this the Warband Vampire? No, Card Hall Hooligan. Oh, and curving out is going to pay dividends for Kuon here, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a straight of 5, baby. So Card Hall Hooligan is now a 7/3 haster. God, oh no, sorry. Yes, 7/3 haster. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a 7/3 haster, and if Kulon pairs it with the Chieftain, it also has trample. That is kind of disgusting. Oh wait, 8/3, because I guess the goat counts because it has a 0 cost. Yeah, it's swinging in with everything. Chieftain and gives the Card Hall Hooligan trample. Even with the Centaur Desperado, I don't know what AKVA can do here. And yep, it is the Centaur Desperado is going to buff up the Engineer into a 4/4. Can trade and kill the Chieftain, and then can trade the Card Hall Hooligan with the Desperado, but then still takes 6 damage from all of that, and then takes an extra 5 damage from Kulon's other 3 creatures. So it takes a whopping 11 damage in total from this exchange. And yeah, I think like Kulon, even if like AKVA manages to stabilize the board here, they need some life gain. Otherwise, Kulon just drops a Desperata and wins. I guess there was some confusion over the life total, which is why there's a little bit of a hold up here between turns. I doubt Kulon has a 1 mana deal 5 damage spell, so I don't think it'll matter this turn, but it could matter next turn if he wants to just drop Desperata and then raise his entire board to kill AKVA. And AKVA tapping all 6, has the Snapping Hydra here, is going to enter X equals 4, eat the Centaur. It's probably the best stabilization AKVA could have asked for other than the Wendigo. So now Kulon can still get through this with the Menace aura. There's a 4-drop which gives Menace on Warband, the aforementioned Desperata. This one Snapping Hydra is not the end of things. So he's going to swing in with both the Geologist and Rain Dancer. Probably has the combat trick and the reflex combat trick, and is going to kill the Snapping Hydra here. And yep, does have the 2 smoking barrels, and is going to use it on the Geologist. I guess that makes sense. Deals 4 damage to AKVA. AKVA's down to 1 life. Is going to play Home on the Range. Needs some sort of cattle here. None of these are cattle. Definitely a problem. The Hodag. I guess it's a 3/3 that also enables their self-mill synergies. And it allows them to start putting on the beats if they need to. But yeah, like at this point, AKVA cannot attack. Because until they have 3 creatures, this Greenskin Geologist just becomes like a legitimate threat with the Menace aura. But no, is swinging with the Snapping Hydra. Kulon's just going to take it. This is a mistake by AKVA. Like, I know that you do have to press your advantage, but there's so much on the back foot right now that I think that... And they know that Kulon has the Menace aura because they played around it last game. But no, doesn't even need the Menace aura, just has the Desperata. And that's going to end this game. So, good games. MasterKulon on green-red aggro takes it takes the set 2-0 and takes the tournament 3-0 in sets. And Desperata, like their deck just came together, in general. But I really think that if I had to choose a card that just exemplified their deck, it's definitely the Desperata. Like in 3 out of the 4 games I spectated, Desperata came in clutch to get that last bit of reach. And I just want to say once again, this was super cool, both to spectate and to just hearing people's thoughts about the draft and seeing them play the games. And I'm really excited to see how future game nights go. And once again, if you are someone who has just for some reason stumbled on the stream and is not part of the Custom Magic server, add me on Discord at Caillou102 #4141, and I'll give you a link to the Custom Magic server where you can take part in this event the next time we run it. But yeah, other than that, until next time, this is Caillou signing off.